Oops. Oh, hey, look, it's those Jungle Book costumes I don't care about. Mowgli, Shere Khan, Baloo. A new fruit round. Orange, you glad? We just added a new juicy fruit theme level. Avoid the rising slime. Count the fruit and stand on the correct tile to survive. Huh. Interesting. And then we got the King Louie challenge, which, let's see. Squad show. Welcome to the jungle. Reach. Is there even a... Oh, there's a win a squad show. Oh my god, you have to win 3 squad shows? Or, well, I know. Or is it... Why does it say out of 3? So yeah, I think that means you have to win 3 squad shows. I don't know, I could be reading that wrong. Fuck, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. We'll reach the final round and welcome to the jungle. Play a hunt round once. Other than that, it doesn't seem too hard. And I mean, you get the costume at 1100. Not that I give a shit. That's where we are in the season pass. Mowgli costume that, even though I have more than enough to buy, I also just kind of don't give a shit about. What's this emote? Not bad. Alright, so we got squad shows, we got Mix It Up, a showcase with familiar levels with new twists. Oh, so we got a lot of stuff. Let's do the Welcome to the Jungle for the moment. And maybe we'll try to mix it up a little later, and then we'll switch it up and do, I don't know, any number of things today. So yeah, little later, because I threw this together last minute, and... Oops, not that one. Nope, not that one either. Come on, freaking work with me. Yeah, I threw this together last minute. Still not entirely sold on it, but, you know, I just needed some spoiler thing real quick. And so, yeah, that's why I'm a few minutes late. Yeah, Fall Guys. Now, since the last time we played Fall Guys, there was a new update. And I think it was called 5 Point Fun. They claimed it was more of like a minor thing, even though it did add in a whole new course and a bunch of new level variants, which is usually their halfway updates. But I guess they claimed that this wasn't a halfway update, which is interesting. I don't know. And then I think it also added in all the Jungle Book stuff, which, again, I don't care about, because I don't care for the Jungle Book. What can I say? It's just not... It's just not a movie I care for. Like, I don't know. I probably saw it when I was a kid. I probably liked it. I don't remember. Oh, hey, look, that's new. So yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about the Jungle Book. I haven't seen it since, I don't know, probably the early 2000s. I read the book. I think we talked about that once. Yeah, I read the Jungle Book. I love the one of the best things in season 3 was the anti-gravity. So, was it season 3? Season 4, actually, because we're in season 5 right now. The anti-gravity was just so cool, and when, like, especially when they added it into hexagons, I was like, ah, that's so clever. Oh, there's big fans. Oh, that could be a nightmare. Okay, that's gonna pop. But we should be able to make it over and qualify. But yeah, it's been a very busy week for me. I'm God, I need sleep. It's gonna be nice to sleep in until like 9. Which is admittedly 4 hours more sleep than I normally get. Because I have been forcing myself. Because, yeah, school is a lot. Yep, it's a lot. I mean, it's not hard. It's just keeping me busy. I don't know. I've been actually thinking about, like, doing some stream. Like, because, like, there's a Pokemon game around the corner. And I would love to stream. Because I used to play every Pokemon game. I Let's Played Gens. I technically did, Gold and Silver. I don't think we ever beat it, but I did some of it. I Let's Play Gen 5. But those videos fucking suck, by the way. Don't go looking for these. These are not good. Like, yeah, they all still exist. I always thought about unlisting them. Like, I don't want to put them on private, but I definitely have considered unlisting them, but I've never done it before. Yeah, but yeah, I did same thing. I did Gen 5. I did Black and White 2, Black and White. I did X and Y, and I think the last Pokemon game I did was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And I obviously didn't do Gen 7. Because, oh, that would have been, yeah. But I wanted to do Gen 8. Admittedly, we were gonna do Gen 8 until, Switch broke. That was, like, one of the plans after Mario. There was that. I had an Xbox game in mind that even though that was Xbox, we never got around to it because, yeah. Ooh, this is interesting. Oh, gosh. It's interesting, but I think it's harder. Yeah, no, I don't think it's worth it. Like, the normal pattern's fine, but this is just not worth it. But yeah, we were gonna do Gen 8, because I was gonna do because I'm still, the only Pokemon I'm missing in the Pokedex are the other version of the horse and Regieleki. I think it's called Glacier and Regieleki. And I was going to do a playthrough of Sword. And we're going to do that. Hey, Psycoms, how you doing? And then, yeah, Switch broke, and that just kind of ruined everything. But yeah, I was going to do an Xbox game, but my Game Pass is now up. Yep, I don't have Game Pass until... I'll probably get a few more months in, like, November or whatever. November, December. But, yeah, maybe when Halo Infinite comes up. Maybe. Is Halo Infinite's on the Xbox One? Yeah, it's gotta be. But yeah. And then, yeah. I don't know. New Switch is a month away. It's what? October 8th? And then I'll have a Switch again. But yeah, it'd be fun to do a Pokemon. It would... I don't know. But then it's like, oh, I do Sword and Shield. And then like a month later... Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl comes out, and I'm like, is that too close to play 2 Pokemon games? Like, I can barely finish 1. Could I really do 2 Pokemon games in like a month? And there was one other thing I wanted to stream as well. It's not coming to me off the top of my head, but I was like, that would also be a fun one to stream. What happened to you? Oh, my Switch overheats. If you play it for more than 30 minutes, it shuts off. So I can only get 30 minutes on the Switch. Yeah, no, that's been an issue since April. I think it was an issue in April. Where did that one go? Yeah, no, I mean, technically, I've still been able to use it. I mean, we've streamed Animal Crossing more than once. But I miss it. Come on, you stupid penguin. Okay, I don't think we're gonna make it. It'd be nice, but I don't think we are. There's got to be people who have. Yep. Yeah, I miss it because I don't like. I haven't touched Skyward Sword. I didn't get to play the new Pokemon Snap. There's probably some other stuff I didn't play as well. Can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I guarantee you there's some other stuff. But Switch OLED is pre-ordered and just now waiting for it. We already got the dive one. Okay, we're off to a good start. Yeah. Is there anything else before we actually get... So, news stories tonight, I only have 2 news stories, and we only have 2 things on WIBE. But it's gonna probably still be like an hour and a half long show or whatever, because we're going in depth. We've got some predictions to make. It's a lot of prediction. It's 2 predictions and 2 reviews, which, yeah. Because I was also binging a TV show before this, and we're going to fucking talk about it. I mean, the episode is titled after it, after all. Yeah, anything else? I mean, there's some stuff we'll get to in WIBE, I guess, for the brief minute. Yeah, I haven't been Fall Guys in... Yeah. Alright, so I guess let's get into our first news story. So, there's a rumor going around right now that Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are going to be coming to Switch. Not Game Boy Advanced. That's important to say. Game Boy Advanced is not on that list. Because Game Boy Advance... Like, I do personally consider the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color the same system. I know some people don't, and some people consider them separate systems. But I consider them the same systems. The same way I consider the DS and the DSi. Or the 3DS and the new Nintendo 3DS. They have some upgrades, but they're all the same system. Or, you know, the Switch and the inevitable Switch Pro. Will we get a Switch, or will we get a Switch Pro? Because, like, the OLED is clearly just a base Switch model upgrade. But if we do eventually get a Switch Pro, yeah. I'd consider it, even if they call it something different, yeah. Yeah, I do consider the Game Boy Color just a Game Boy upgrade. Plain and simple. I do not... The Game Boy Advance, though, I think is its own thing. It had been long enough. It made some significant improvements. Not all of them, because the Game Boy Advance, the original Game Boy Advance, did not have a backlit screen. Which, you know, Game Boy not having a backlit screen made sense, kept the cost down, and it's the reason the Game Boy dominates the Game Gear. Game Boy Color, it's 1998 98, I think. So it's a little less justifiable. I think it was 98. Maybe it was 96. It's a little less justifiable, but it's fine. But by the time, but by 2001, when the Game Boy Advance comes out, no, it was inexcusable for that not to have a backlit screen. But they did fix it with the Game Boy SP, or Game Boy Advance SP, which I had both. I had a Game Boy, and then I had a Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah. The original Game Boy Advance, is one of the oldest things I own. I've had that things for what, 20? Yeah, it's been it's been 20 years. I think it's been 20 years. So yeah, that's like the oldest thing I own. That I still have, I should say. Yeah, probably. Because, like, I don't count things like my Atari 2600. Because that technically wasn't mine. And while, yeah, I know the Game Boy Color the Game Boy Advance was gifted to me, I do consider it mine. Unlike the Atari or the NES, which, PS2, same way. So yeah, so Game Boy games are coming to Switch Online. What games would I do think this I think this was something that was inevitable. It was going to happen. Personally, I was always rooting for you know how like they did the NES and SNES minis? I was always rooting for a Game Boy Mini. I always thought that Nintendo could easily make a Game Boy Mini, because you can buy a 2DS for like $60. And that has a cartridge slot, that has a second screen, that has some things that rack up some real money. So gosh dang it. I always believed Nintendo could make a Game Boy Mini. It would be the normal size of the Game Boy, right? But it would come preloaded with like 20 or 30 games, probably, hopefully 30. And the big selling point on it would be that it had Pokemon. There would be 3 variants, a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one. And depending on which one you bought, it gave you a Pokemon game, right? So the blue one had Pokemon Red, the red one had Pokemon Yellow, and the yellow one had Pokemon Blue. Yeah. I don't know, it always made sense in my head. I always thought it would be cool. Did we get 2 things? Yeah, we did. Oh, I have to perform emotes. Ah, shit. That'll be fun. But yeah, I always thought a Game Boy Mini would be cool, but it never happened. Because, by that point the Switch had come out, and the Switch was successful, so they just had no reason to do it. Of course, Nintendo Switches Online pisses me off, because NES games came out in early 2018. I think it was early because the Switch comes out 2017. Nintendo Switch Online launches, I want to say like somewhere between January and March 2018. Then a full year goes by. Then they in September 2019 they release SNES games, and that's been it. We haven't got an update in 2 years. And it's been too fucking long. We should have had Game Boy games last year. I know Nintendo was hit hard by COVID, harder than any other company. However, these are literally fucking ROMs that any smart company would just have a system where you put the ROMs in the server and it automatically updates online. Nintendo is not a smart company, so it's probably a pain in the fucking ass to get these games online, because Nintendo cannot make anything easy for themselves. Because, they fucking suck and they're stupid and god damn it. But yeah, so that's part of it. Is that, right, this should have happened a year ago. But it's probably happening now. Of course, I would prefer all 3, honestly, because there are some good Game Boy games, yes. But there aren't that many, and Nintendo's whole approach to old games is fucking stupid to begin with, because they believe that old games, they believe that people will take Nintendo Switch Online and just play that. They'll see Link's Awakening on this new Game Boy service, and then they'll refuse to buy the new Link's Awakening. Which maybe that's true, but it's also totally not. Or they'll say like, oh, the original Mario Brothers 3 is on NES, Nintendo Switch Online. That means players are gonna pick up Mario Brothers 3 on NES Online and not pick up New Super Mario Brothers U or Mario Maker 2. No, they aren't, fucking Nintendo. You fucking morons. That is not how this works at all. Especially now that you're giving... Like, maybe back in the Wii day, I could kind of see them justifying it a little bit more. But we're not in the Wii days. And, again, it is morally okay to pirate Nintendo games. Can I legally recommend you do that? No, don't pirate Nintendo games. But it is morally okay. But don't do it. So yeah, Nintendo is just, when it comes to their classic content, there's that image of like the dog with the ball, and the dog says no take, only throw. That's Nintendo with classic games. Please remember, but don't play them. So yeah, I fucking hate Nintendo, but hey, I'm a slave to them, so what else can I do? So what games do I expect? You know, okay, so let's go through some obvious ones. I want this thing to launch with a bunch, because another thing that pisses me off is how they release games, where they only release 2 at a time, 2 or 3, and like, once they run out of classic games, they then spend like months releasing games nobody gives a fuck about. Yes, occasionally there is a hidden gem, like Ice and Fire, but that's not very common. Most of the time, it's just shit nobody gives a fuck about. And trust me, nobody gives a fuck about, okay, Bubble Bobble's good. But, you know, so many of these games nobody cares about. So Nintendo is fucking stupid, and they suck, and I hate them, but yet I love their classic games, and they should just get a proper fucking release schedule. Oh, somebody already got that. We're out. Oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked. Gosh dang it! Gosh dang, people are fast. But yeah, so so some obvious games, right? I want them to release with more than just like 10, because SNES Online still doesn't have Super Mario RPG. It still doesn't have Earthbound. Right? One of Nintendo's big problems is that in 1992 or whatever, Earthbound didn't sell well. So since then, Nintendo has held the belief that the West just doesn't like Earthbound, which is not true. People in the West really like Earthbound. It's a cult. It's not the most popular game, but it's a cult classic, and it does well every time they re-release it. As far as I can, right? For a cult classic, people are always in arms. And this is a free online service. They refuse to release Earthbound. They refuse to release Super Mario RPG. I think one of the Final Fantasy games is on. I mean, I know there's always talk about like licensing when it comes to Super Mario RPG, but I think Final Fantasy 3/6 is on there. If it's not, why the fuck isn't Final Fantasy 3/6 on there? Why the fuck isn't Chrono Trigger on there? But no, instead we get Tonga's World or whatever. Like, fuck off, Nintendo. Just give us some actual fucking games instead of all this mealy mouse shit. But yeah, I want the Game Boy Advance to launch with like actual games instead of just like some bullshit. Will they? No, of course not. But I would love it if they did. So some obvious ones: Tetris, Super Mario Land, which is a game I like. I like Super Mario Land. It probably does not hold up at all. I haven't played it in years after all. But you know, it'd be a cool get. Super Mario Land 2, I do hear, does hold up, and I've never actually played Super Mario Land 2, so that'd be cool. That retro Donkey Kong game that everyone seems to like, that I actually owned and never really cared for. Link's Awakening would be a cool get. especially specifically Link's Awakening DX that had the color dungeon and all that. I don't think they will do that because they are Nintendo and they believe that releasing a 30-year-old game will directly hurt the release of the remake. So they probably won't release Link's Awakening, but it'd be cool if they did it. Kirby's Dream Land, again, it's a pretty short game, that'd be cool. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. I've never played Wario. I've never played a single one of the Wario Land games. I know people really like them, and I kind of want to, because, you know, people like Wario. That new WarioWare game comes out next week. Super Mario Land 3 would be cool. Metroid 2 Return of Samus. I know there was Samus Returns, and Nintendo is the stupid fucking company, and I could realistically see them not release Metroid 2 Samus Returns on Game Boy because of the 3DS remake a few years ago. I don't think they will, but I could see it. And that's another reason people want Game Boy Advance games, is because of Zero Mission and Fusion, which directly tie into Metroid Dread. So getting Zero Mission and Fusion would kind of be a big deal, because, again, not a lot of people have played Zero Mission or Fusion. Yes, they're on the Wii U. Yes, Fusion was part of the Ambassador program on 3DS. Also, why the fuck did they never release Game Boy Advance games on 3DS? That was, even just new Nintendo 3DS. That was so fucking stupid. Fucking Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo. Let's see. But yeah, Metroid 2 would be another cool thing. But I've never played Zero Mission. And we did Let's Play Fusion a few years ago. I don't think we're Let's Playing Metroid Dread here on Twitch. Like, I don't think I'll be streaming it. But maybe I will one day. I don't know. Donkey Kong Country. God, no, that's not a Game Boy. Why the fuck is this listed in Game Boy games? Dr. Mario, okay. Donkey Kong Land, I think that's what it was. Kirby's Dream Land 2 would be another cool one. Yeah, Kirby's Dream... I think 2 and 3 are both there. Wario Land 2 is Game Boy Color. Pokemon Pinball is Game Boy Color. Oh, people would love the Pokemon trading card game. Oh, that'd be a cool get. Especially if they're doing game... Because there's only like 30 Game Boy Color games. So yeah, getting Pokemon Pinball and Wario Land 2 would be pretty cool. Pokemon trading card game would be another cool get. Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Like, I don't know if they'll re-release Link's Awakening, but they need Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Especially because I've never played Oracle of Ages. I played Oracle of Seasons. It's good. It's... I don't know if it's one of the better ones, but it's good. Like, I think it gets beat out by some of the other 2D games. I liked Minish Cap. The Kenstone stuff sucks, but Minish Cap I probably would say is better. I don't know. I fucking hate is it the Temple of Winds? The second to last dungeon in the game, where you're like climbing the tower. I think it might be Tower of Winds. It's either Tower or Temple of Winds. Fucking hate that dungeon. But other than that, I like Wind Waker. Or Minish Cap, I mean. But yeah, I've only ever played Oracle of Seasons. Haven't played Oracle of Ages. It'd be nice to play them both again. So I would hope those would both be on there. Kirby Pinball, yeah. You know, with the Switch gyroscope, they could re-release Kirby Tilt and Tumble, which was like a Game Boy Advance, or no, I think it was not Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color game with a gyroscope in it. So like you could move it up and, or would it be a gyro? Yeah, I guess it'd be a gyroscope. And if you moved it up and down, it would move with the thing. But then if you played it on a Game Boy Advance, it was like the controls were like backwards or something like that. Something weird like that. Maybe it's a Game Boy Advance SP, I don't remember. But the Switch has a gyroscope in it, so theoretically, I mean, Nintendo likes to do stupid bullshit. They could totally get Kirby's Tilt and Tumble working. That'd be a cool one. Mario Pit Cross, I know is huge in Japan. I don't know if it's ever popular. I don't know if it's like all that popular in America. Let's see. Killer Instinct, that'd be a funny one. There's the Donkey Kong game. Why the fuck is a PlayStation game here? Wario Land 3 was Game Boy Color? Really? Huh. Was there a Mario Tennis game on Game Boy Color? Looks like it. Was that the RPG developed by Square Enix? Ooh, that'd be a neat get. I don't know, there's Qix, Qix. I had that game, I love that game. I wonder what game I could have looked at my Game Boy games. Right now they're buried under boxes that I'm not going to pull out. But yeah. So yeah, those are just a few. The one thing I did not say though was Pokemon, because I don't think this service is going to launch with a Pokemon. You want my fucking controversial hot take here? I don't think this service launches with a Pokemon game. Oh yeah. Yep. Pokemon Company is so fucking stingy. I don't think this service launches with one. I know that fucking sucks. Normally, I'd say, like, Pokemon's a must-get in this scenario. But I cannot reasonably see the Pokemon Company doing, a game on this. Like, I would love it. I would love if they found a way to do trading, or even if you could just send stuff to the Pokemon Bank through the service. That'd be really cool. But this is Nintendo we're talking about. This is also the Pokemon Company. Nintendo is stupid, and the Pokemon Company is fucking stingy. I mean, how long did it take I think they did it, for the 20th anniversary? And it is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. So they have good tie-ins there. I just don't see them doing it. For as much as I would love for Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, or I want all three, of course. Red, Blue, Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I can't see them doing it. I just cannot see them doing it. But I would love it. And I'd love for you to be able to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Bank, or to Pokemon Bank, and so that way, theoretically, you complete your decks. I'd love to, because so when the games came out on 3DS, I completed the decks in Gen 2. Add Bluetooth trade, or add trading in, maybe, because you can do that, and I know two Switches can connect to one another. So this is something they can totally do if they want. I don't know if Nintendo will do it, but I'd love to see it. I think two Switches can link together like that. I know they can. So yeah, trading would be a really cool thing to add into this Pokemon re-release. But I don't think it's going to happen. The other thing I want to see, though, from this is Super Game Boy. So right, on the SNES, you had the Super Game Boy, and that was cool and all. But it doesn't really get, like... Super Game Boy doesn't really get talked about much anymore. I'm gonna fuck it up right here, aren't I? Yep, I fucked it up. I was ahead for most of that, and then I fucked it up at the end. Fuck. But yeah, I would love to see some Super Game Boy support, because, like, I know they had, like, Metroid 2 had Super Game Boy support that, like, put it in color, for example. And I know, like, I know they added some of that stuff into Game Boy Advance later on. But I feel like that some of that stuff should be in this. If they're gonna go through all the effort of re-releasing all this stuff, put in some Super Game Boy support, right? Like, even just, like, you could do it as, like, a promotional thing, like, make a big deal out of it. Nintendo, that would be cool. Again, there's Game Boy Color stuff, but, you know, that's a little different. Okay, so how many of these points do we have? What? 6, 7, 800? And we need... I can't believe it's win 3 squad shows. Like, what the fuck is that? No, we have a few more things in Welcome to the Jungle. But yeah, so those are just some of the things. But yeah, I want them to do Pokemon. Like, I don't, like they can add Heart Gold, or Gold, Silver, and Crystal later. But this should really launch with a Pokemon game. I don't think it's going to happen, though. But yeah, there are some cool gets in here. Like, it has potential, especially with Game Boy Color. But they need to fucking commit. And not just do like, oh, here's fucking, I don't know. Here's fucking, Space Invaders. Here's fucking Kung Fu Master. Baseball for Game Boy. What? Any other good Game Boy Color games? Ah, fuck, I hit the wrong button. Come on. I know some of the Pokemon are game. Like, the Pokemon have both NES, or Game Boy and Game Boy Color variants. I know there's something like that. Let's see, some of the later Pokemon trading card game, Bomberman. Oh, that'd be interesting. I guess that Mario Tennis, Kirby Tilt and Tumble. Oh, the original Shantae? Yeah, the original... Ooh, I've never seen raspberries in Pac-Mans before. That's new. Yeah, the original Shantae was Game Boy Color. That'd be a cool one. Ooh. I like that. I like that idea. I don't know how much of this is gonna... I do think this is coming one way or another, but, like, how they're gonna fuck it up because this is Nintendo's Monkey Paw, I don't know. I had Return of the Jedi on Game Boy. That's a memory. What? This is fucking stupid. Ugh. So yeah, Game Boy, cool. I still hope we do N64 eventually as well. Like, Nintendo really needs to speed this shit up and get more of these games out there, especially after like a year of not having anything. Get fucking, like, you have Zelda's 25th anniversary. You can put Majora's Mask in Ocarina of Time, and people are going to be like, cool. Of course, they're never gonna get past N64. N64 is where the service stops because Nintendo refuses to release fucking GameCube games. And then, like, I know another thing though is like with Game Boy Advanced is Advanced Wars. Advanced Wars is a Game Boy Advanced game, and they're remaking that later this year. Still uncertain if I'm gonna pick that up. Probably not, but I've actually considered it. But yeah, so no, I'm down for Game Boy. It's a lot of obvious ones, and I'm sure that they'll find like a classic gem or two. But it's like, get the fucking Banjo-Kazooie game. That'd be funny. But yeah, no, I do think Game Boy's coming. Because are we going to get a Nintendo Direct this month? I don't know, man. I was leaning towards it possibly happening. And then they released that Metroid Dread trailer, and it's like, I don't know if they will actually, because I would have saved that for a Direct, or done it during Jeff Keighley's summer game event thing that Nintendo is one of the only companies that didn't take part in, and now they're not at the Tokyo Game Show either, which, yeah, that's weird. Nah, not really. It's Nintendo. They're fucking weird, so it doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, didn't I win a gold... Oh, it's win a gold medal in a race round, isn't it? Fuck, that's gonna be hard. But yeah, let's go Game Boy, sure. I guess I'd like to play the Zelda game again. Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I'd probably just do them back to back. Even though it's been a long time, so, yeah. Next up, so it was announced that a PlayStation showcase, like not like a PlayStation State of Play, like no, like a big showcase, like this is gonna be like a big main event sort of thing, is happening September 10th, I think. It's next week. I think it's September 10th, which is I think it's a Friday? Yeah. I think that's when it's happening. It might be the 9th, but I think it's the 10th. And they're doing a big PlayStation showcase, and it's going to be about the future of PlayStation and the PS5. I've been thinking about getting a PS5 again recently. So we'll talk about Shang-Chi a little later in the show, but after watching Shang-Chi, it's just kind of like, I don't know, for some reason I was thinking about like Spider-Man. And I was like, I really need to play Miles Morales, but I want to, even though I could buy it on PS4, I kind of don't want to, and I want to get it on PS5, and I don't know, I guess I was just thinking about that. Where the fuck did that penguin go? Oh, there it is. Oh, give me that one. So yeah, I guess I was thinking about, I don't know, for some reason, yeah, I was thinking, well, I think also part of it is the No Way Home trailer. So yeah, I was thinking about Spider-Man again, and I was like, you know, I kind of really want to play Miles Morales, because I haven't. I also kind of want to replay the PS4 game again, even though I know it's kind of flawed. I don't know, I'm still even though I have the Platinum, there is an achievement for playing it on, like, the hardest difficulty on New Game Plus, and I'm like, I should do that. And I was also thinking about streaming that, because like, I'd avoid all the side quest stuff, because fuck that, doing that all again. Because I got a platinum trophy on everything else. But I was thinking about that. And yeah, I'd love to play Miles Morales, but I'd love to do it on the PS5. And then there's so many other PS5 games I want to play. Horizon. So, as part of this PlayStation Showcase, it was announced that Horizon is, or at least it came out this week, that there's a Horizon Forbidden West special edition. It comes with like a fucking elephant statue. But then there's like some normal editions, some normal special editions. You know what I'm talking about. Like there's that special collector's edition with like a giant elephant statue. But there's also, like, one of the interesting things we found out is that if you buy the PS4 version, you don't get a free upgrade to the PS5 version. You know how, like, most of the time when you buy the game, you get a free upgrade to the newer version? Not this time. This time you don't get that. You can play the PS4 version on the PS5, but the actual PS5 version? Nope. You have to buy the PS5 version, which I don't know, like, God, you see how good Xbox is at it, and it's like, oh, come on, Sony, if you wanted to, you could. So, I don't know about any of that. Oh, yeah, oh, he got it, what? It looked like, from where I was standing, it looked like I got it. Oh, come on. Okay, okay, so yeah, but yeah, so that's weird that you're not getting the PS5 upgrade. I mean, because I think they cost like, it's what, like a $10 difference, which I get that's how people, like, cheat the system or whatever, and I get that. God, I hate this round. This round with collecting the stupid things in the bubbles, one of my least favorite rounds. I'm just no good. I'm no good at it. Yeah, I fucking hate it. So yeah, so we're probably going to get some more of Horizon Zero Dawn. We know, because I think it was announced in the Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest thingy, that it comes out in February now. Again, it's competing against, and well, I would love for it to compete against Breath of the Wild again, because that was so funny last time. It's this time it's competing against Pokemon, which, you know, Pokemon's not going to be able to live up to it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for Horizon Zero, or for Forbidden West. I still need to finish Zero Dawn. Never did. God, I have so many. You know, I'm thinking about buying a PS4, and yet I don't even, or PS5, and fuck. So other things that I expect to see in this, I don't think we're gonna get God of War. I mean, it'd be neat, and I could see a CGI trailer. But I think we're still a ways away from gameplay. Admittedly, I think they have said that God of War Ragnarok is like a smaller-ish game. But I still don't see it coming out until holiday of next year. But this is a bigger PlayStation showcase. I think, like, this is basically PlayStation's E3 showcase. So there is a possibility. I'm not holding my bets or anything. Like, if it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised. If it does happen, that would be neat. There is all this rumored bullshit about a new Hideo Kojima game. There was this whole thing about, like, Death Stranding 2 and how, I guess, Norman Reedus is in negotiations or whatever. Is that happening? I don't know. But there have been some rumors about that. I don't know if that's happening. It'd be whatever. But, like, there's a rumor about a new Hideo Kojima game, or the new Silent Hill. There's, like, 4 Silent Hill rumors. One that is directly related to Hideo Kojima. And that one's really fucking complicated, and it made a guy cry, but... Yeah, it made a guy cry. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if it were to show up anywheres, it would show up here. Do we get more Deathloop? Because I know Deathloop comes out soon. And Deathloop is fucking everywheres, and it never ends. I don't think we're going to get more Deathloop. I could see us getting some Ghostwire Tokyo, because I think that's next year. And that is... both those games are PlayStation exclusive. That'd be a neat one. Anything else? You know, I don't have that many... Like, I don't know what else to expect from PlayStation, honestly. Gravity Rush 3? That's never gonna fucking happen. Those games sound like garbage. Good games, they just sound like garbage. Elden Ring? If we were to get Elden Ring at any place, it would be here, I'd think. Because, again, that game does come out in January. And I could see them doing some more with PlayStation, more than I do Xbox. So, I could see Elden Ring realistically. I don't know how much, but... I wouldn't put it past them. Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I think that's PlayStation, right? That's... Yeah, I think that's September, but I could see that. Spider-Man 2? No, I don't think so. I think it's too far away. Next year, probably, 2022 for a 2023 release date. Yeah, but not this year. Do they have any other big games rumored? Was there like a rumor for like a Twisted Metal, for a new Twisted Metal or something? I feel like there was at some... No, that was a TV show. Yeah, they're doing a Twisted Metal TV show. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2? Pfft. Yeah. That's not happening. I don't know. I guess I don't have that many predictions at the end of the day. I mean... Patapon 3? I'm just listing random fucking games at this point. Yeah, I guess I don't got anything. It's... I don't know, I'm just thinking of the big hitters right now. Let's see, upcoming... I should look up upcoming PS5 games. Upcoming PS5 games. Let's see, anything? Not Among Us. Life is Strange, which comes out soon. Deathloop. Oh, Gotham. I know DC is doing another showcase in October. So, and we know, I think they did mention that both Suicide Squad and Arkham Knight are going to be there. So that's neither of those things. Even though I think those are a year away. I was thinking about watching that Suicide Squad again. It leaves HBO Max on Sunday. And I was like, should I? I don't know. I've been thinking about it, that's for sure. Oh, we're not making it. Yeah, I know. We got... Ooh. That's interesting. Non-frogs. Still not making it. Oh, wow. We barely made it. Forspoken. The fucking turf game. No. It's literally just, fucking shit that's coming out this year. That's like most of this list. I care about none of this. So yeah, I guess I don't have that many big predictions. And of course, you know, you want a surprise and whatnot. But, So I guess that takes us into WIBE. WIBE, well, we're gonna get into Harley Quinn and Shang-Chi in a minute. But, I have not been playing any video games. I did play Mini Metro. I have been getting better at Mini Metro. I think I'm in the top, like, 3,000 players or something like that. So, I'm getting, you know, for, like, the weekly and daily challenges. So, I'm getting better. But yeah, I've still been playing, or mini motorways. I mean, I was, for all of the love I put into I didn't realize I actually on PC didn't put that much time into Mini Metro. Most of my time in Mini Metro was done on mobile, which surprised me. Because yeah, I don't have that many. I only have like, I don't know, like 20, 30 hours on Steam. Something low like that. But yet on phone, I have like triple that number. But yeah, so I was thinking, I like this circle pad, this is fun. But yeah, so I've been playing, oh, we should be emoting. Oh, fuck, the emoting got us screwed. I got too cocky there. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. I didn't play City Skylines, even though I was thinking about it. God, there are so many PlayStation games I need to play. Or that's a game I have on PlayStation, because I think they gave it to me for free at some point. I need to play... I didn't play Animal Crossing, right? Like I said, I think I missed like a day, and I think... Or, because I was so busy, I missed a day, came back, missed another day, and that was it. It was done, and I haven't played it since. I still want to get all those trophies, or I still want to get all the paintings. But, yeah, no, I haven't played Animal Crossing since, like, I think Wednesday of last week. It's been a while. Maybe it was Thursday, I don't remember. Yeah, I have not played Animal Crossing. I haven't thought about it. I mean, I've thought about booting it up once or twice. I think, because I'm still so behind on What If. Like, there's 4 episodes of What If out right now, and I haven't done a single thing on any of those. And I was thinking, like, I could probably just boot up Animal Crossing. Because, I talked about animated shows within an animated show. I think that's how I did, like, Korra and whatnot. So it's like, it makes sense if because I have scripts for the first 4 What If episodes. I just need to fucking sit down and record them. So I'm especially because I don't have a webcam at the moment. Because I lent it out. But I was thinking, like, for those What If episodes, I think I'm just gonna boot up Animal Crossing, talk into the camera for a little bit, like, because What If is animated MCU. And yeah, hopefully this video, and maybe do like 20-minute videos, like keep it real quick, in and out 10 minutes. I know that's how we get this show, which has currently gone on for like an hour, almost. But yeah, I was thinking about that, so I might boot Animal Crossing up tomorrow and just knock all those out one after another. Probably not, but I might. You never know. Haven't been playing Fall Guys, nah. Because, like, they put out the new update, and I just don't care about Jungle Book, and I mean, again, thematically it makes sense. Their whole theme for Season 5 is jungle. Logically, it's like, yeah, no, that's a decent theme. But I also just don't care. Again, jungle, Cyberpunk, yeah, cool theme. Would have been cool to get a fucking Cyberpunk 2077 skin. That would have been some neat fucking synergy. Oh, there's a gap there. So yeah, but I don't care about the Jungle Book, so I haven't been playing Fall Guys. We did get the Glizzy last week, which I'm still proud of. I mean, it was a pain, but it wasn't that hard of a pain. Have I been playing anything else? Played some Catan. Oh, I played a new board game. Or it was a card game, I guess. I had heard, it was neat. Yeah. I don't actually want to say the name of it at the moment. Because, yeah, I went out and played some board games. Yeah. We'll talk about it at some point, because, yeah. I'm thinking about doing D&D. Like, a few months ago, I bought, like, the starter kit. And I've been thinking, like, maybe I should just fucking play D&D for the first time. I don't know. The problem is finding a group. But I've been thinking about it. Like, yeah, I think it's time I run my first ever D&D campaign. The bigger problem is finding a time where everyone can get together to sit down and play some fucking Dind. That's, I think, the bigger problem. At least at the moment. I still have to read an entire fucking novel before I even start. Because I know none of this shit. Like, I don't know fucking how D&D works. Dind. Anything else in WIBE? Did I try anything stupid this week? Oh yeah, actually, I know I did. I did try something stupid. So every year, Lay's, you know, the potato chip company, does like the weird, like, hey, pick us a flavor thing, right? Where they have people like design flavors, and then they let like the best ones become like flavors, and then people vote on like which one's their favorite. Most of them are always fucking garbage. Like most of the flavors every year fucking suck. I've tried most of them. There's been maybe in like the 5 or 6 years they've done it, they've had like 2 good flavors. I'm just being real with y'all. The Lay's do us a flavor thing, fucking terrible. But so they announced for their new flavors, they were doing Cool Ranch Dorito flavored Lay's and Funyun flavored Lay's. You know, everything's a crossover nowadays, so doing a Lay's crossover with Doritos and Funyuns, because you know they're all brands owned by Lay's. It's like, okay, that's an idea. So of course they came out they announced these a while ago, but I went looking for them, couldn't find them at first. I found the Dorito ones like a week or 2 ago, but I couldn't find the Lay's ones or the Funyun ones. But I found the Funyun ones this week, and so I've tried both. The Dorito ones, okay, I did good. I did get that. The Dorito ones were fine, right? They were Dorito flavored Lay's. They're whatever. Funyun, okay, so I like Funyuns. I don't have them very much. I legitimately can't remember the last time I've seen a Funyun on a store shelf. But I kind of like Funyuns. I don't know, they're fucking terrible, but they're terrible in a way that I like. So, seeing like Funyun flavored Lay's, I was like, you know what, this might be good. And yeah, I think they're good. I don't know if I'd like go out of my way to get another bag or anything. But I'm like, yeah, no, they kind of taste like a Funyun. They're not terrible. You moron, this monkey. This little monkey feller. So yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, so those were the 2 weird chip flavors I tried, and yeah, I don't know if you see them, I guess give them a go. There are worse. I've seen worse like Lay's do it a flavor bullshit, but I've also just like had just better chips in general. I don't know. Chips are one of those weird things where it's like on one hand I'm like, no, these are good, and on the other hand I'm like, oh, these fucking suck. Right? Like chips are like a mix of good and bad. Honestly, there are some good, there are some bad. That's what it really all comes down to. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the weird shit I've done. Oh, I did try to get, so Mountain Dew released a Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. Like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, another brand of corporate synergy. I tried to fucking get it. It sold out within an hour. But I didn't realize until the hour was up. So that by that point I had already missed it and it was too late. But trust me, I did think about it. Come on. Yeah, so I did try to get a Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. Didn't work out, but I definitely thought about it. Trust me, it was definitely something I was thinking about. There you go. So yeah, but yeah, I did think about it. I didn't get it, but I tried. I did try. I did think about it. It's just I missed it. I think I was in class when it went up, and or I might not have been. I just didn't realize it. But yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of these things. Like this PlayStation showcase, I think I'm in class when it happens. Otherwise, I would 100% stream it. PlayStation showcase. Yeah, other than that, I haven't played Skyward Sword. I've been watching TV and movies, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Let's see. Okay, here's an IGN article. Oh, it says Thursday? PlayStation Showcase is... start at Thursday, September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I am in class until 2 p.m. Pacific Time. I think that's on Thursday. That's when my last class gets out. Of course, it's a 3-day weekend for me, which is nice. I'm just gonna relax and not do anything, but hey. But yeah, oh, it's September 10th in Australia. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, we got into the final round? Okay, let's do the final round. And then once we do this and fail, we're gonna talk about Harley Quinn. I've got a lot to say about Harley Quinn because I binged the entire show. Like I don't know the last time Centaur World took me like 3 or 4 days. Technically this took me longer than that, but it was 2 seasons and fuck. But we'll talk about that in a second because holy shit. Oh hey look, we're competing against another chicken. I've been thinking about that stupid fucking... So, right, there's a Rick and Morty song about turning into a turkey from one of the more recent episodes. And I've been thinking about... And, I don't know, for some reason I've been fucking thinking about it. And so I listened to it again, and, kind of funny. That fucking Ricks and Mortys, you know? Season finale is this week. And on top of that, for a promo for the season finale, they got fucking Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, what's his face? The guy Doc Mitchell? Whoever inspires what's his face. Yeah, no, Rick. Because, Back to the Future. What the fuck are we missing? Yeah, it's gotta be back this way. Yeah, no, I'm like in last. Yeah. Yeah, they got Christopher Lloyd to do a fucking Rick and Morty live action thing. Because the finale is Sunday. And I know they put out like a music video for the finale. I kind of started watching it and then I was like, how spoilery is this? Yeah, fucking that stupid turkey song, man. From the guy who did, I think he either did the Pokemon theme song or he did the Poke Rap. And they got him to do a song about turning into a turkey, and it's really fucking funny. God. That thing, this season, we'll talk about it next week, or maybe put it on the docket, and we'll talk about Rick and Morty season 5 and how it's been a very mixed bag, but it's had some good episodes. But with that, I guess let's talk about Harley motherfucking Quinn. So this show, I had heard about the show, and I tried watching the first episode, probably like a few years back, probably when the second season had started airing, and I just didn't get into it. I didn't think the first episode was anything that special, honestly. I was just like, whatever. And then I kept seeing the memes go around. Like, there are certain memes, like the fucking one with the fanboys sitting in the basement complaining about the show with the Release the Snyder Cut and The Last Jedi is not my Star Wars shirts. So fucking funny. God damn it, the balls on this show. And then the cancer ray thing is another clip that I see passed around all the time. Of course, we're on a Team 3. So yeah, I've definitely seen, and there's probably been a few other memes as well that I've seen where I was like, that's pretty interesting. But as you know, so for the past few months, I've been doing the rewatch of the Justice League animated universe, Batman, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Superman, Justice League Unlimited, and I finished that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So the next shows in the docket are Harley Quinn and Young Justice, and I basically flipped a coin between the two and decided to do Harley Quinn first. And fuck, am I glad I did. Because Harley Quinn is so fucking good. Of all the shows I have seen this year, new shows, I should say. New shows, so like I'm not like I still think Batman the Animated Series is a better show. It's amazing. But like of all the new stuff I've seen, all the Marvel shows basically, right? So Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, currently airing What If. Harley Quinn is better than all of them. Harley Quinn is so fucking good. And like I watched the first season, and like by the time the finale came around, I was just like, this is so good. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So yeah, I just binged the second season in like a day or two, which I know like people binge it in like a night. I don't have that kind of time, but I do have some time. And so yeah, I watched all of Harley Quinn season 2 in like a day or two, which is a binging for me. And it's so fucking good. Easily my favorite new show I've seen this year. I don't know if I'd say it's easily better than all the Marvel shows, but I would say it's better than all the Marvel shows. Fuck. And part of it is that it like appeals to like me personally. Like I could see the arguments for some of the Marvel shows, but like there are things in the show where I'm just like, yep, I love this. This is like, it's not that this show was like made for me or anything, because I liked Harley Quinn, but I never loved her as a character. Right? Like she's fine, but I don't know. God, this show's just so good, and like I definitely like the character now more than ever. Like especially by the end of the first season, Harley Quinn and Ivy are so fucking cool. Some of the supporting cast, like after seeing Suicide Squad, well, it's funny because I say I don't care for Harley Quinn, yet I love the movie Birds of Prey. I say Birds of Prey is like the best or second best DC movie, because you know most of those movies suck. But yeah, so I guess this was always kind of inevitable, but I sat down, I watched it. First episode, I still think is fine, right? With Harley Quinn, with the Joker, Poison Ivy busts her out of jail, and then they come in and, right, she basically gains her freedom. It's still fine. I definitely liked it better than the last time I saw it. It feels like it's been forever. I don't remember when the second season aired, but it's definitely been over a year. And since then, I definitely like it a lot more. Let's go. So yeah, that's like the show starting. Yeah, but then again, I will say a lot of shows don't have good pilots. Like especially like in hindsight, a lot of shows I like Rick and Morty, love the show. The pilot episode sucks. It's not like it's weird, but I don't actually think the pilot episode is that good in Rick and Morty. And that's kind of what I'm feeling like. The pilot episode, I liked it better this time, and I'd probably say it's good. But that's God. I don't know. I know the pilots are supposed to come out and be like the best of what the show has to offer. But I guess I just don't like pilots. Because they're very, like, it's, especially like with an anime, I'm like, whatever, who fucking cares? But with like an actual, like, a Western made show, I'm way more skeptical. Usually because they have either more episodes or longer seasons or whatever. Whereas an anime is 13 minutes in and out, or 13 episodes in and out. Admittedly, this show is also 13 episodes in and out, and I was kind of able to binge it like I do an anime. I haven't been watching any anime either. But yeah, after that, like, seeing Harley try to, like, strike it on her own with Poison Ivy, get her crew together, that's all just really, it's fun. Like, Harley and Ivy's interactions are so fucking good. Especially because, like, I haven't read that many comics, but I know what happens with them in the comics. So, like, knowing that that they're... Do I put up... who cares if I put up the spoilers? Again, I think the finale aired in, what, 2020? Really? Fuck, I've seen so many memes of this show that I figured the finale aired in, like, 2019. Yeah, no, God, this show was or the season 2 finale. Fuck, man. I feel like I've just seen so many memes, like, for years now, that the idea that the finale is only, like, a year old is just weird. But yeah, so I guess spoiler alert for the entire fucking show. But I know, so in Batman the Animated Series, where Harley Quinn comes from, right, there's a few episodes where she and Poison Ivy, like, hang out together. And, like, they do it as, like, a girls just being, like, going out, committing crimes, right? Stuff like that. Like, there's no real, like, because this is a 90s kids show. They're not going to imply anything, like, sexual is going on between them. Even though it's, like, but there is, like, there is stuff that can totally be interpreted that way. And that's the same thing for Superman. The police chief in Superman, like, at one point she gets shot or something like that. And when she's in the hospital, it's another girl there. And it's like, is that her girlfriend or wife? The show never says. I think it was later confirmed by one of the showrunners that, yeah, no, that is supposed to be her girlfriend and or wife. But at the time, it was like, that's interesting. Like, that was something I noticed on the rewatch. Of course, that's the episode where Dan Turpin dies, but, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that was later confirmed. But yeah, so there's, like, this stuff that, yeah, you could take it that way, but you also couldn't. But yeah, no, just, like, knowing where it's going and, like, watching it slowly build up. And then when it finally fucking happened, I was so happy. God. Yeah, in season 2, when they finally kiss, I was like, oh, fuck. And then, like, 2 episodes later, holy shit. But yeah, and then... But yeah, so I knew, because, you know, be gay, do crime. Let's fucking go. So yeah, that was something that I was waiting for, that I knew was coming, and I was waiting for throughout the entire show. And, like... And then the other thing is, because Poison Ivy starts dating Kite Man. Now, I know Kite Man is a fucking joke, and people make fun of him. But they also, like, make fun of him, at least from my experience with people in Kite Man, is that Kite Man is a fucking joke. But he's a joke that's, like, fun to laugh at. Like people like laughing at Kite Man, but people don't actually, like, hate Kite Man. I mean, I know what he was what I Hate Everything's mascot for a while, which was pretty funny. I'm trying to stay on as long as possible. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of been Kite Man, is that he's a joke, but, you know, like, nobody hates Kite Man. And seeing him show up in this show, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm honestly surprised how much, like, this show shits on Clayface. Because, like, I don't know, I guess I've always thought of Clayface as because of the animated show, I've always taken Clayface a little bit more seriously. And so seeing him in this, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, they've made him out to be, like, a total fucking joke. King Shark I knew nothing about, but it's a completely different character than the Suicide Squad. But it's something I'm totally down for. Like, the way, like, he gets introduced as, like, the tech guy. So that's fun. Dr. Psycho, who's a character I'd never heard of, and his whole thing is he hates women. Which, okay, so in like, the second or third episode, he calls Wonder Woman a cunt. And it's like, because of that, like, that's what outs him as, like, a woman hater. And it's like, wait, like, okay, the show, throughout the rest of the show, they highlight that, no, he does actually hate women. But, like, the way he gets outed, I'm just like, that's, what? This is nothing. Right? I didn't get that part, because, I don't know, I guess I'm used to, like, the Australians who just say it all the fucking time, and I say it all the fucking time. Okay, I don't say it as much as I do fuck, but yeah, oh no, I've called what, Bobby Kotick and Isguamo cunts before, so yeah, I guess I'm used to it. Remember that college humor skit where they try to find cunt but for men, and they come to the conclusion that no word does it justice, so instead they just poison the guy's sandwich. Solid college humor bit. Yeah. But yeah, he's whatever. Like, I don't know. There's an episode with Clayface where where they become sorority girls, and the way he plays it is so fucking funny. So I was down for that. King Shark's fun. What's the plant's name? Is the plant just called Fred? Who's like who's like a talking plant that Ivy owns? That's kind of good. When he gets the weed dealer and they head off to Mexico, or he tries because they get hallucinogenic honey. Yeah, this show gets fucking weird. Who else? Oh, Cyborgman, the landlord who's a cyborg who tries to burn them alive at one point, because they do like so at one point they go into like Harley's mind, like she's trying to think of her like origin story, and she freezes up, so they go into her mind. Meanwhile, the landlord like tries to burn them all to death, and that's funny, and that's what gets him in the crew. But meanwhile, in Harley's mind, you find out her origin story. So like, I know, right, the original Harley Quinn costume is very, I'm gonna say it's conservative. Like, I don't think she shows any skin, like literally. I mean, it's skin tight, but you know what I mean. So, but then like later Harley Quinn costumes, they just kept making it more and more sexual, and it was always kind of like, okay, comic books, I guess. But this show does a great job at justifying it. That like, hey, the Joker was like super controlling over her, so her wearing something more different is her like establishing her own brand image and represents her leaving the Joker. It's empowering. And you know what? I'm totally down. That's fucking Lollipop Chainsaw, right? The game by Shinji Mikami. I think it's Shinji Mikami. Maybe it's Suda51. Maybe it's both. Now that I think about it. No, it can't be Shinji Mikami. No, I don't. Shinji Mikami did Shadows of the Damned. It's got to be Suda51, because they work together with, I think, Akira Yamaoki for Shadows of the Damned. No, I think Suda51 and was it? It wasn't J.J. Abrams. It was James Gunn did Lollipop Chainsaw, right? It was James Gunn and Suda51. Am I going crazy here? Well, okay, Lollipop Chainsaw, right? She's a cheerleader, and she wears the skimpy cheerleader outfit. But like, at no point is it, at least in my opinion, is it degrading, because they make, I think her name's like Juliet Starling or whatever. They like empower her, and they make it like, oh, she's wearing the cheerleader costume, but they make it like a symbol of empowerment, and she's like always in charge of the situation. It's actually like a weirdly feminist game, at least in my personal opinion. Of course, ask Anita Sarkeesian and they'll fucking... Do we even give a fuck about Anita Sarkeesian anymore? And I'll say the same thing about Bayonetta. Bayonetta wears skimpy to nothing sometimes. But yet, I'd argue Bayonetta is very empowering in our own way. Again, this is a cis Hispanic male's perspective, so that's just me. But I admit, and also I haven't played Lollipop Chainsaw since it came out in like 2011, so it's been a while. But I remember it being positive, and I take the same thing here. That what they do with Harley Quinn in her outfit, yeah, no, it's pretty empowering. But they go into her mind, and like you see her origin story where she jumps into the vat of acid that turns her into Harley Quinn. But I like that. Then she beautiful minds this shit, or not beautiful mind, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and she literally rewrites her origin story. That's maybe where that started, but no, her real origin is her leaving the Joker to go out on her own with Ivy. Like, that's where her real origin starts. And that's a fucking great scene. It's so well done. So yeah, I'm just fucking loving this show, and That's a great moment right there. And yeah, because yeah, this show is empowering. It is feminist. Like they're not very subtle about the fact that like Harley is trying to be like the female like the most prominent female villain. She's trying to join the Legion of Doom, which has I think like a female member, which is Cheetah, even though I think Cheetah shows up once or twice. But like that's her big arc in like the first season, is she's trying to join the Legion of Doom to break that glass ceiling. There's the Queen of Fables, who was like the villain. Who I've never heard of the Queen of Fables. Is that a villain created for the show? It'd be kind of fitting because again, Harley Quinn was originally created for a TV show, so that'd be fitting. And because I've never personally heard of the character. But they do some interesting stuff with her, and like she's tracked within the tax code for the first few episodes. And yeah, and Ivy is very feminist. Of course, Dr. Psycho is the opposite. But yeah, it's a very feminist show, and of course the show makes fun of itself, but more importantly, its fan base at one point, where they literally have an episode where two fans are sitting on the couch watching it. One has a Release the Snyder Cut shirt. One has a Last Jedi Sucks shirt, and it's basically just saying like, hey, yes, we're making the show. Yes, it is empowering to women, and yes, we are aware that we have some pretty cunty fanboys. The fucking balls on this show. Like, there's that whole thing where is it Netflix is doing Cowboy Bebop, and the actress who's playing one of the characters came out and was like, oh, are you guys mad that the costume wasn't realistic because I wasn't wearing, like, barely any fabric? Oh, are you mad about this? Are you mad about that? Well, fucking cry, you babies. Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna fucking cry? And I was like, the balls on this actress. Let's fucking go. I'm now way more interested in Ghost in the Shell. Or, not Ghost in the Shell. Cowboy Bebop because of it. Will I watch it? Probably not. But, like, definitely, like, just coming out and being like, yeah, no, you're a bunch of cunts. Again, I say it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm totally way more interested in this now. Because the fucking balls. And the Harley Quinn episode being like, yeah, no, we've got some cunt DC, and just there are a bunch of cunty fanboys on the internet, and we're not afraid to call them out in this situation. Fucking respect, man. And the episode's pretty good as well, like, because they don't even have Harley Quinn in the episode just to make a fucking point. Because, like, even without her, the show's still really good. So yeah, I got some mad respect for this show, and I was already in at that. Like, if I wasn't in, that would be like, yep, I have nothing but respect. But I was already, yep, the show already got me, and yeah, and I'm perfectly fine with all these feminist issues. Like, yeah, fucking go for it. I mean, fucking rock on, show. Don't give a fuck. And yes, yes, Batman does eat pussy. Fucking let's go. I hope they address it. Like, I know there's going to be a third season eventually. The only reason I know there's going to be a third season is because of that. And while I'm not saying that story is why I finally got around to watching the show, because it's blatantly not, but it's definitely what put it on the radar again for me. Gosh. But yeah, so yeah, Harley, she makes it into the Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom fucking sucks. Joker takes over Gotham in an episode, and that's pretty, like, Joker, so one of the other famous scenes is Joker capturing Batman, Scarecrow taking off his mask, and then Joker getting pissed that, Wayne Tech hasn't released an electric car yet. That's another great scene from that's been, like, passed around, and when it finally showed up, I was like, that's cool. But yeah, because, yeah, as you get into the show, eventually, Poison Ivy gets, like, kidnapped for an episode or two, and then Harley goes and saves her. Because they have, like, a big fight, because Harley gets back together with the Joker for, like, a minute. Which was, admittedly, that was one of my worries early on in the show. Because, like, I love Birds of Prey. And Birds of Prey is the perfect breakup movie. It nails it on every account. And one of the things Birds of Prey does so well is that the Joker's not in it. Like, yeah, Harley and the Joker break up, but the Joker's not in the movie once. And that's something that, like, yeah, they could have easily put him in here. They could have easily had Harley beat him up. And so, like, when the Joker, like, keeps showing up in this, I was like... Because part of this is, like, Harley's breakup with the Joker. Her trying to hit it on her own. Of course, and, like, some of it I'm fine with. Like, her trying to get into the Legion of Doom because Joker's in the Legion of Doom and she wants to prove she's better than him. I'm totally down for that. But some of it, like, especially, like, when they start getting back together for a little bit, I was like, really? But no, I think they do it good enough. So yeah, I guess if I had one complaint, that's kind of it. But yeah, the fallout from that, having Ivy get kidnapped, she goes back and visits her parents, who are just jerks. I get it. And then, yeah, so Ivy's, like, fear talks in with Scarecrow, and they take over the city. And then Ivy turns into a giant at one point, and that's kind of cool. There's some fun fight scenes, because this show is rated R, or whatever TV mature is. So they can say fuck, they can be violent, they can be bloody, and they fucking do it. Like, people get their faces shot off and acided off all the time. There's a really cute scene. I think it's in the second season where Poison Ivy, like, someone's dumping toxic waste. Poison Ivy's like, you know what? I'm gonna go fuck them up. And so she does, and Harley shows up, and they melt, like, 8 chemicals executives' faces off. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is a fun, cute scene. Because it is. And they're killing people, and yeah. God, we're in third, and you're abandoning us. I mean, even if he won, he couldn't make up the points. But yeah, and then, so that gets us into the finale, where Harley has to take down, because Poison Ivy gets killed by the Joker, and so she swears revenge. There's like a week time skip or something, and then it goes into her defeating the Joker, teaming up with Batman to defeat the Joker, which is something that I think... Well, I guess we'll talk about it in a few after we get through this in the second season. But I think if I had to guess, I wonder if this is where they're going for the second season. Her teaming up with Batman. I wonder if that's leading to something greater. That'd be interesting, because I read Heroes in Crisis, and I know some of the shit they did in that. And I wonder if that's going to carry over into this show. It'd be interesting if it does. But yeah, so they're able to fight back against the Joker, defeat him. He finds out who Batman is, which is funny. And, like, because, like, it doesn't matter to the Joker. Batman could be anybody. All that matters is he has an enemy. Again, the fucking Lego movie put it the best. It's like a romantic relationship. God, that movie's so fucking good. And then the episode ends with Joker blowing up his tower, which leads to an 8.6 earthquake, and it destroys all of Gotham. And when I saw that, I was like, oh fuck, are they doing No Man's Land? Oh shit. And then the next episode, the season 2 premiere, starts with the president it doesn't start, but like early on, the president comes in and is like, you know, it's going to be too much to rebuild Gotham, so we have decided to cut off Gotham from the right, Gotham is no longer part of the US. And I was like, fuck, they are doing No Man's Land. Oh god, this is going to be awesome. So I have not read that many comics. I've read more from DC than I have Marvel. But one of the things I have read, so I'm a fan of Linkara. I've said that before. And he did the Cassandra Cain retrospective. And Cassandra Cain was introduced in an event called No Man's Land. And I remember watching the Cassandra Cain retrospective and hearing about like the plot behind like No Man's Land, where after an earthquake, Gotham is like abandoned by the US government, and then it gets divided up in like gangs and whatnot. And I remember watching that and being like, this is such a great idea for a comic. I have to read this. So I went out and bought No Man's Land and read it. And it's not perfect, but it's really good and it's really interesting. And I really like No Man's Land. So to see them adapt it here in the comics, I'm like, fuck yeah. Or to see it adapted in the show. Yeah, no, I'm totally down. Because No Man's Land is I liked it in the comics, and the Joker's not in this, and the Joker was one of the worst things in the comic, because yeah. I mean, yes, the Joker does show up in this, and yeah. But yeah, seeing them do No Man's Land, and like Harley's going around, she doesn't want to be in charge. Instead, she like tries to free all the goons, and they become like the Questioneer, the Jester, right? Like they become all like they start becoming their own like villains, and it's like, yeah, this is such a good idea. So like setting up doing No Man's Land and basically putting her in the role of Batman trying to take back the city. I mean, they don't go as in depth in No Man's Land, because one of the great things about No Man's Land was that like Bruce Wayne has to take back the city, and he defeats, I don't remember who he defeats first off the top of my head, but whoever he does, he like takes back the part of the city. He goes to give it back to the people, and the people are like, no, we're not going to be in charge. Right? Like, we're not going to just take back our democracy like that. We need a leader. We want Batman to be the leader. Because Batman's gone for a while in No Man's Land. And, like, he's gone because he gets blown up in the Joker Tower thing. I mean, he's not dead, but he's gone for a while. So that was really cool. That's a great start to the second season. And then I think it's like 2 or 3 episodes in, they go to, like, the Riddler we find out Batman's alive. 2 episodes in, they go to like Riddler University, and we meet Barbara Gordon, which is cool because the original No Man's Land introduced Cassandra Cain, the second Batgirl. So seeing this No Man's Land introduce Barbara Gordon as Batgirl in this universe, I was like, no, that's some great synergy right there. I'm totally down for this. And seeing like all the villain, like, it's weird because like we start off for like most of it, like the first episode, Harley Quinn gets frozen for 2 months. And that's how No Man's Land gets created, because they offer to have her join the Injustice League, who is just a bunch of Batman villains. Like, I guess I mean, I get it, but yeah, whatever. And then she gets like unfrozen, she kills the Penguin, and it's like, yeah, the whole place has been divided up. So they go to Riddler University, and they find out his whole shtick. That's where Clayface becomes the girl, and it was like, oh, that's so fucking funny. Great. Just great all around. Then they break into Mr. Freeze's place, and the entire time, like, where was I going with that? Then they break into Mr. Freeze's place, and Harley's like, oh, well, obviously your wife is frozen, and she's frozen because you've, like, captured her. You're just like every other male dickbag. Like, you're just, right, like, she accuses Mr. Freeze of being the Joker, and then then she unfreezes him, or unfreezes Nora, and it's like, nope, she actually loves him, and he's trying to save her, and it's like, fuck, that's, again, they're, like, the show does feminism, but it's not above poking fun at itself in some of, like, these ideas, and, like, it admits that, yeah, no, it's also just fine to be a wife who loves her husband. Like, that's fine. It's all sides are equally valid in their own ways. And Mr. Freeze, so I was looking at the credits for, I think, the first episode of season 2, because I didn't recognize, because the Penguin's voice sounded so familiar, but I couldn't place the voice actor. And as I'm looking at the credits, I see that Alfred Molina is the Mr. Freeze. Alfred Molina, the Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2. I know he's in other stuff, but right, like, he's in the news again for reprising his role as Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man No Way Home. He's fucking Mr. Freeze in this. And I was like, oh, okay. And there's a bunch of other famous voice actors. At one point, Clayface, like, gets his arm chopped off, and it, like, gains its sentience and, like, becomes its own person and starts hanging out with Jim Gordon. Again, this is a weird fucking show. And I'm listening to the voice, and at one point it, like, laughs or something, and I'm like, that's Tom Kenny. That's fucking SpongeBob's laugh right there. Sure enough. And there's a few other ones like that, where it's like, oh, this is... okay. Alright, I recognize the voice. Harley Quinn is... the girl from The Big Bang Theory. Kaylee... no, is it Kaylee Coco? I don't remember her name, but, you know, I don't care for The Big Bang Theory. The flight attendant was whatever. It didn't interest me. But she does great as Harley Quinn. Like like Margot, like, okay, the original Harley Quinn, was it Tara Strong? I want it. Tara Strong played Harley Quinn at some point. Did a great job. And then Margot Robbie knocks it out of the park. And so I guess I was a little hesitant of whatever her name is. Is it Kaylee? I keep thinking it's Kaylee, like Coco or something like that. Yeah, Kaylee. Yeah, something like that. Lake Bell is Poison Ivy, who isn't she in the most recent What If she played Black Widow. So, like, that was one of the things I noticed, like, immediately. Alan Tudyk's Clayface, and he's fucking fantastic. Yeah, no, but it's Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk's fucking in everything. But he's fucking good at his job. I mean, he doesn't get as much credit as, like, a Tom Kenny or a Tara Strong, but he's in everything, and, yeah, he's pretty good. So, yeah, that was... Yeah, no, the voice acting is really good in the show. That's another thing I'll give it credit for, is that they got some good voice actors. And let's see. So I'm looking at episodes. Then we get the episode with Batgirl and Batman, and we find out what that is. I have to pay attention to this. This fucking sucks. Okay, give me a second. Still haven't played the new one yet. I would hope that would be in this rotation. I think we're on the right one. So I gotta pay attention to this. Okay. Apple, cherry, apple, grape. Cherry, apple, grape. Cherry. Okay, we're on cherry. Oh, you poor fool. Okay, apple, okay, cherry, watermelon, apple, orange. Cherry, watermelon, apple, orange. Watermelon, apple, orange. Apple, orange. Fuck. No, shit! I think we're fine. I think we still qualify. Yeah. Okay. Good. And let's see. After that, like they fight Penguin. They fight Riddler. Then they fight Mr. Freeze. And then Bane and Two-Face just team up. Like there's this whole Bane Town thing, and there's a joke where like Dr. Psycho and Killer or King Shark. Ugh. Where, like, those two are, like, stuck in Banetown and they have to, like, get jumped in or whatever. And then we never see Banetown again. I think, like, Jim Gordon has some, like, because Harvey Dent takes over the police station and Jim Gordon, like, becomes, like, a hero again. So, like, we get some of that, but we, like, never get anything with Banetown. And I was kind of disappointed on that. Of course, Bane gets his pit. Because when they do Bane, they're making, like, Bane has just become a fucking joke recently. Like, I feel like since The Dark Knight Returns, nobody takes Bane seriously anymore. And so, like, he's just he's like the laughingstock of the villains in this. I mean, I guess him and, Kite Man, Condiment King. Because, yeah, meanwhile, while a lot of this is going on, Poison Ivy and Kite Man are planning their wedding. Which, you know, that's right, Kite Man, whatever. There's, like, a scene where they're trying to, like, rob a museum to get... where, you know, they're trying to rob a museum to get a flamethrower. But Kite Man's trying to get Poison Ivy a ring for engagement. And it's actually, like, a really sweet scene. Like, I really liked it. It's, like, that's the moment where Harley realizes that, you know what? Kite Man's not that bad. And, yeah, I kind of see it as well. So that was a moment I really liked. But yeah, so we don't get much of Banetown. Instead, Bane gets his pit and Harley and Ivy get stuck in it for a while. And there's a great moment where Harley and Ivy, where like Ivy has to go up and do stand-up, and she just fucking lets it all out, tells the truth, and it's really good. Like that moment of her like just trying to do stand-up and like trying to start a prison riot because they're trying to escape on George Lopez's helicopter. Again, this show is weird, but it really works. It really works. And yeah, that whole prison riot thing's fun. Them escaping the pit is cool. And then Ivy saves Harley, and then they kiss, and I was like, oh shit. Oh shit, they're actually finally doing it. I've been waiting since the start of the show, and they're fucking doing it. But no, Ivy's engaged. Fuck. Oh no. I was fucking on the edge of my seat, man. I fucking love this show so much. And then, I don't know, so Harley goes to Darkseid, gets an army, because, you know, she's trying to cover up her feelings. But then they go on the Ivy's bachelorette party to Themyscira. And during that, they get drunk. And then it just cuts to the next morning after they've had sex. And fuck, it's so fucking funny. And it happens more than once. And I'm just rooting for, you know, I like, don't get me wrong. I think Ivy and Kite Man were pretty cute. I liked that. And Ivy cheating on Kite Man is wrong. But I was rooting for Ivy and Harley. I really was. Especially, like, after, with everything going on with Harley and how she's like, she's like almost about to fall into despair. Because, you know, she worries that she's going to lose Ivy. And then them just smash cut to them having to, like, waking up after sex the next morning. Fuck, that's so good. So, the entire the bachelorette party is great. Because it starts off as, like, the bachelorette party. And then it's like, nope, this is also actually an ecological thing. Because Lex Luthor is threatening to destroy the island. So, we're gonna fucking wreck up Eris's shit to save nature and whatnot. And it's like, yep, that's a great twist. Just an all-around great moment. And yeah, I was rooting... I like Kite Man. I really do in this show, and I think they're cute. But at the same time, I know how it goes with Harley and Ivy, and I'm just rooting for it. There's a comic with Harley and Ivy where it's a fan-made comic. Where it's just like they kiss, and then Harley says like, I just loves you, Red. And I tried to find that fan comic, and I just couldn't. I know I have it saved somewheres, but I just couldn't find it. I guess I just wasn't looking at the right things, but I just know it's really cute. And I don't know, I guess I've started thinking about that again. So yeah, God. And then, yeah, after that, they do the wedding. Harley meets up with the Joker again. Because the Joker... Oh. Gosh dang it. The Joker doesn't, like, die. Instead, he just gets turned back into, like, a normal person. And he gets a girlfriend and some step-kids who technically aren't... Like, they're not married or anything. So, and, like, they find that a few episodes in... And then they, like, Harley gets stuck with him for a while. This is where the cancer ray thing comes in, where she gives some random goon cancer who's working for, I want to say the Riddler. So that was good. And then, yeah, they have to turn him back in the Joker, because Harley decides that she wants to save the Justice League. Because, yeah, at some point in the second season, the Justice League gets defeated. Like, all of them, except for Batman, get, like, trapped in a storybook. Or, you know, all the ones people actually give a shit about. What the fuck are those guys doing? I was like, there's gotta be more than one penguin. Oh, come on. But yeah, so she turns the Joker back, and the Joker goes to break up with the girlfriend. And then after they go and try to get the book back and everything, and like after thinking about it, he's like, you know what? No, actually, what we had was special. I'm gonna go back to her because I'm the Joker and I'm supposed to be like this agent of chaos. But you know what? We actually had something pretty nice. And so that was it's just something I've never seen with the Joker before. Like, yeah, because Joker and Harley's relationship is abusive. That's how it's always been. So I don't really expect, like, so the actual idea of Joker having, like, an actual, like, proper relationship with, like, stepkids and whatnot is different, but, like, different in a way that I'm interested. Like, to see where this goes in another season, but they're eventually able to release the Justice League. Dr. Psycho betrays them and like takes control of all the parademons and takes control of Gotham. Because at one point, Harley goes to Darkseid, gets an army because she wants to take over Gotham because, you know, she's trying to cover up for the fact that she loves Ivy. And then she breaks the deal with Darkseid. And like there's this whole, so Gotham gets kicked out of the US. And then after Commissioner Gordon beats up Two-Face, it's like, oh, he tries to get it back in, but the president's like, no, you can't get it back in until you defeat Harley Quinn. And then he does, but it's never clear, like, if Gotham ever actually gets back into the US. I legitimately can't tell. So that's a thing. Like, they never address it again. But that was something I was thinking about, at the end of the show in like the final episode. But yeah, eventually Psycho takes control of Clayface and the other one, and they go, and then Clayface and King Shark. God, I keep forgetting his name. And then Cyborgman kills himself. Well, he doesn't technically die. He becomes ghosted in the shell or whatever. He becomes a robot. He's a cyborg, but yeah. And then, yeah, Psycho takes control of Ivy. And, like, Ivy fights the Justice League, which is neat. That's kind of cool. And, like, Clayface, and, like, Clayface turns into a giant, and there's a great moment where Harley, like, calls him out, like, you could have done this the entire fucking time, and you didn't. You piece of shit. So that was a good moment. And same thing with, like, King Shark and whatnot. Just all around good. We're gonna lose it right here in the final second. Fuck, we lost it in the final seconds. That's what sucks about this game. And then they turn Ivy into fucking Dr. Octopus. Like, she has like these plants tied around her, and they've got like the 3 prongs on them. And yeah, Ivy just goes around as Dr. Octopus for like, I don't know, like 10 minutes in an episode. And it's like, okay, that's neat. I mean, it gives her some interesting combat, and it leads to like a moment or two. I'm down for it. And then Kite Man tries to kiss Ivy, because, you know, true love's kiss. It doesn't work. And then Harley does, and it actually fucking works, and yeah, God, I'm rooting for them. There's a whole point where the Justice League gets mind controlled by Ivy's, like, love stuff. And hey, Batman and Wonder Woman. That's something that I guess only ever happened in the show. Like, that's not in the comics or anything. That's just something they did for the animated series. And I actually kind of like it. I think it's interesting. Because, you know, Batman's got Catwoman. He's got Vicky Vale. He's got, Andrea Beaumont. Again, that's also only in the movies. Even though I think she is finally in the comics now. There's Silver St. Cloud, who I know nothing about. Like, I legitimately know 0 things about Silver St. Cloud. Or whatever their name is. But yeah, no, I don't know, that's just interesting. And so that takes us into the final episode, because Dr. Psycho broadcasts them having sex over the entire city. Harley and Ivy, because, again, this show is fucking weird. And so the ending with with Ivy and Kite Man getting married, and everything that goes wrong in their wedding, because Jim Gordon tries to arrest everybody, and Harley breaks it up, and in the end, yeah, Kite Man's like breaks off the engagement because, well, yes, Ivy cheated on him, and she's wrong in that situation, and the show does call her out on it. Like at one point, someone says something out like, "Oh, I can't believe I can't believe she's still with Kite Man," and it's like, no, I can't believe Kite Man is still with her, because Kite Man deserves the best. Because again, he's a joke, but he's not a bad guy. I mean, he's a villain, but, you know, he's not like a bad person, and he does deserve the best. So, and yeah, they talk about how he asked Ivy to marry him 3 times, and she only took him out in the last one. Everything with the wedding has been like, he wants the thing, and then she's just, like, she's trying, but it's like, it's never what he fully wants. And there's always these complications to it. But I'm like, yeah, on one hand, I liked Ivy and Kite Man. They had some great moments, like her telling off his parents because, you know, they have powers and he doesn't, so they're happy he's dating Ivy because, right, they want their grandkids to have powers. That's a fucking great moment. And yeah, because Ivy's got his back 100%, but yeah, she does cheat on him. But I'm still rooting for... God, I got fucked here. I'm still rooting for Harley and Ivy. And that's just my predisposition to it, because that's how I know it goes in the comics. And I think they're a cute couple. So fucking sue me. Oh yeah, there's one point where I think that's in season 1, where they go into Ivy's mind and they find out her biggest fear is Harley. And I'm like, that's fucking good. The entire show is just so fucking good. And it ends with Harley and Ivy going off into the sunset. It has a whole the end and everything. Of course, we are getting another season. It was announced at some point we're getting another season, either late this year or next year. And, right, Batman isn't allowed to eat pussy because DC executives think it's fucking obscene or whatever. Fucking stupid as shit, but hey... I mean, it got me talking about the show eventually, and well, it's not the reason I watched it. I'd be lying if I said it didn't kind of get me interested. Like, just like what kind of show leads to that moment. But if I had any speculation for another season, if I was like, what are they going to do in the next season? The one thing I think... So, I read Heroes in Crisis. It's not a good book. But I found out in Heroes in Crisis that the comics have been making Poison Ivy into an anti-hero recently. You know, it's a logical step, kind of like Magneto, right? Magneto's whole thing is about, like, freedom for mutants. So the idea of Magneto becoming, like, a good guy and leading the X-Men, no, it makes sense. His end goal is ultimately noble. It's just his execution, which involves murdering every non-mutant's the problem. Right, Poison Ivy is an environmentalist. Her goals are noble. Her problem is that she just murders people along the way. So, like, the jump of making Poison Ivy an anti-hero kind of character. And again, I know the same thing happened for Harley Quinn. Isn't she an anti-hero? This is Injustice, so that's a different timeline. But isn't she helping Batman in Injustice fight against evil Nazi Superman or whatever? Isn't that a thing? So the idea of, like, Harley and Ivy becoming good guys is, I think, the logical next step in the show. That's kind of where I think they take it. And then, right, the whole first season was Harley trying to get into the Legion of Doom. And Harley's constantly, like, she tells the Queen of Fables that she has, like, a moral code. She's the one who saves the Justice League. She saves Themyscira, right? They do all this stuff, like, all this good stuff. And at some point, it's like, no, are they going to make her a hero? At some point, are they going to cross that threshold? And, like, is the goal going to be to get her in the Justice League or get Ivy in the Justice League? Because, again, she's at the house in Heroes at Crisis. So something at some point happened. That would be my logical next step for the next season. I don't know if that's where they're going to go with it, obviously. But that's, like, my thought. Is that's where it would make sense to go with it for me. But whatever they do, I'm fucking down. The show is so good. Just in and out. Fantastic through and through. I'm so fucking impressed with it. Best new show I've watched this year. Because again, would I say Batman the Animated Series is better? Yeah. But I'm predispositioned because, you know, isn't it crazy how the things we like the most came out when we were the most impressionable? That's Batman the Animated Series. And I still stand by. It's a fucking master. Like, I rewatched it, I think starting in, last year? Did I rewatch the entire DC universe? And Batman the Animated Series is still fantastic. Holds up perfectly. Even, like, some of the episodes I remember not liking. Like, the one where, like, Batman I have a Batman in my basement, or the one where the kids tell the stories of Batman. I remember not really caring for those episodes. Nah, they're fine. Of course, not every episode is great, but like the ones that knock it out of the park really just fucking knock it out of the park. But Harley, right, so like that, so that's probably the best show I've seen this year. But Harley Quinn is the best new thing. It's better than all the Marvel TV shows. At least, you know, WandaVision, Black Widow, Loki, What If so far. Is it better than... I'm thinking of the other Marvel TV shows, Daredevil. I actually was... After seeing Shang-Chi, I was kind of thinking, like, you know, I never finished Luke Cage. Or not Luke Cage, Iron Fist. And I really need to finish Iron Fist. Because I was like, I was so down for a Defenders movie. And then I just never... No, never happened. I was so on board with it. And yeah, or Defenders TV show, and I don't know, the idea of Daredevil coming back is really cool. The actor playing him in the show was great, but I never watched the third season. I watched the first two. The first season was good. Second season was fine, but I hear the third season is just amazing. But yeah, Harley Quinn is fantastic. It's all on DC. One of my biggest recommendations, easily. Fuck. I'm a moron. But yeah, easily one of my biggest recommendations. One of my favorite shows of the year. I loved it so fucking much. It's so good. God, why? It's just one of those things, like, I could have been watching this at any point, and yet I never did. Fuck. But I'm glad I've watched it now. And the next place my DC rewatch takes me is, I mean, there's a bunch of, like, Batman and Justice League movies, and I could watch any of those. And those are all... I know some of them are better than others, but, right, there's a bunch of DC Batman movies in Justice League in general. Like, I know Crisis on Two Earths is one that I was thinking about the other day. Same thing with Escape on Arkham. But then there's also Young Justice, which I think that's the next logical step, is... I've done Batman. I've done all the Batmans. I didn't technically do Teen Titans, but I'm fine without doing Teen Titans. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do Young Justice next. Maybe at some point I'll do the Titans, because I heard that got good eventually. Same thing with I heard Doom Patrol was always good, but I know Titans started off bad and then eventually did get good, or at least that's what I was told. So I think that's the next logical step for my DC rewatch. Or from, you know, I mean, I'm no longer in rewatch territory. I'm watching shows for the first time. Still, I'm not gonna do any of the fucking CW shows. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I've seen some episodes of Legends of Tomorrow. Fuck. It's basically like DC's Doctor Who. And there are some... Oh my god. At one point they go back in time and they meet a young George Lucas. And they, like, inspire Star Wars or whatever the fuck. And I was like, oh my god. What? But that's a real fucking show. And I know for some people that's like, oh, that sounds fucking fun, right? I will kill George Lucas with a shovel at midnight. But it's just not the show for me. It just ain't. And that's all those CW shows. They're just not the show for me. I mean, in theory, I'm down. But in execution, nah. I did watch the DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, though. Or like the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths, because I was curious. It was okay. But yeah, Kevin Conroy playing old Bruce Wayne, and that, yeah, pretty interesting. That was cool. I've also been thinking about rewatching the fucking Killing Joke movie, because I know they adapted the Killing Joke, and I've seen it before, and admittedly I didn't think it was like everyone was like, oh my god, this ruined the fucking Killing Joke, and there are some good points to be made, especially about the first half, and even like the second half. Like I think H-Bomber Guy did a good video explaining like the problems with the second half, and well, I don't think, at least at the time, I don't remember them being game breakers or anything. Like, or deal breakers, I mean. I don't know. I've been thinking about it again. Because, I mean, because that does get brought up in, like, the part with Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon does get brought up in Batman Beyond. Again, the movie was made like, what, 10, 15 years later, but it does get brought up in Batman Beyond, technically. They technically retcon it. Kind of. I don't know, it's fucking complicated. Even though I don't think they ever mention her being Oracle. Yeah. So yeah, that was Harley Quinn. Now, next we had Shang-Chi. Do I want to talk about Shang-Chi? Or do I just want to leave that for another day? You know, we'll go quick Shang-Chi thing. I might do, because like I filmed a Black Widow video and I just never put it out. It's been sitting in my recorded videos since like October, or no, since July. I mean, not October. What am I talking about? My brain's breaking. I really should go to bed at some point. I've been up a long time. Like, I normally have been in bed like 3 hours ago. Okay, 2 hours ago. But yeah, Shang-Chi, I went and saw it yesterday night, opening night. I enjoyed it. I think it's good. One of the definitely top 10 MCU. I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh, top 5, one of the best movies of all time, so good." Right? Like, "Oh, Shang-Chi is amazing." I wouldn't go that far. I like it. I think it's good. I do not think it's one of the top 5 MCU movies of all time. Nope. I think it's good. I just don't think it's as good. And now, admittedly, there's a part of me that's like, okay, so there's two things here. One is, I do kind of wonder, there's a part of me that's like, is Disney making this movie just to pander to Chinese audiences? Which is what more and more studios keep doing. And that was like, and part of me is like, are they doing that? But then I watched Comic Drake's video, and he brings up that, like, no, Marvel has actually been trying to do a Shang-Chi movie since like 2000, since like the MCU started. It was one of their original ideas. It's something they've always wanted to do. Shang-Chi was inspired by like Enter the Dragon and other kung fu movies. Or something like that. Go watch the actual Comic Drake video. He does an amazing job explaining it. But that's kind of like Shang-Chi has always been like a TV show thing, that they tried to get him a TV show at one point. Didn't work out, but they tried. So I guess I am a little less cynical on that front. Part of it is that also I'm not Asian. So the character means less for me representation-wise than it will for other people, because my representation is fucking Luis from Ant-Man, who I fucking love, by the way. And something positive I will say is Awkwafina's character, is it Katie? I think it's Katie, is one of the best like non-superpower supporting characters in the MCU, right behind Luis from Ant-Man, or maybe tied. I think Awkwafina does a great fucking job in this movie. Like, holy shit, was I laughing my ass off at that. Pretty solid all the way around. Okay, what the fuck is this? You know, we're going to talk about Shang-Chi, but let me focus on what the fuck this is real quick. Avoid the rising slime. One? Okay, count the fruit. Okay, let's see, there's four pears, 2 whatevers, and 1 berry. Dragon fruit. Four pears, 2 whatevers, and a single dragon fruit. Oh. Okay, let's see. I see 2 bananas, 3 coconuts, 4 grenades. 3 of these spiky things. Okay, let's see. 4 of these things. Oh, cool. We got it. Okay, that's, you know, I always kind of worry about, like, the logic game, because, you know, it always requires all my attention. Not, you know, for finally getting another logic game in there, that's not terrible. At least so far. That's not terrible. Definitely better. I mean, it's still memory, but it's not nearly as memory as the other one. But yeah, so yeah, Shang-Chi, I keep calling him, it's Shang-Chi? I keep calling it Shang-Chi. I think it's Shang-Chi, actually. Because I'm a moron. But yeah, Shang-Chi, he himself is pretty cool. The fight scenes are good. That's another thing I will say. Like, the opening fight scene, it's just like your Enter the Dragon, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's so... That opening fight scene's just... Like, they fucking nail it. Not every fight scene is like that, but the opening one could have come directly from one of those movies. It's so fucking good. Some of the other fight scenes are pretty... Yeah, no, they're pretty solid. There's some good stuff in here. The idea of meta brawl where they have Abomination fighting Wong, which is in the trailer, so yeah. That's another fun idea. I like that. I'm sure, let's go for that. And we see some of, we don't get much of it, but we get some of it. So that I'm cool with. That's neat. The father as... So you know, it's funny, I made the spoiler graphic, but I don't actually want to go... you know, I'm going to put this up now. Just know I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. It's really solid. I do recommend it. I don't know if I'd say it's like I'd say maybe top 10 MCU, but I don't know. Ranking every MCU movie is so fucking complicated. Now with 25 of them plus the TV shows, I have no idea where to place anything anymore. Like, legitimately, I'm swinging in the wind at this point sometimes. But so what I like about the father is that you expect because he's the Mandarin, and yeah, and you expect him to be like this villain, but he's not. Like, he is the bad guy of the movie, but there's this whole thing where it's like, oh, he's like 1,000 years old. He spent all this time as like this legendary warlord and whatever. But he's not actually, like... he's not, like... He's the bad guy. But, like, once he met Shang-Chi's mother, he was willing to, like, put it all up. He was willing to retire and no longer be a villain. He was willing to give it all up, like all his empire, the 10 rings and everything. He was fine with leaving it all behind to be with his wife. And, like, that's his motivation. He's basically a pawn in this whole thing, just trying to get his wife back. Because he believes that the people in Ta Lo, who, for a second, so, like, the mother comes from, like, this ancient village. And for a moment, I was like, isn't Ta Lo the village from Iron Fist? No, I think the village from Iron Fist is Ta Lung. But they're very similar. Like, they're very similar name-wise. So for a second, I was like, is there something up with that? No, there is no connection. At least, or if there is, they never mention it. But yeah, so the father thinks like, oh, his wife was kidnapped and taken back there because he's a pawn. And for a moment I was like, you know what? That would actually be like an interesting twist. Because I think about that one story with, is it Princess Kaguya? With the girl in like the moon where she gets taken like where she's like from the moon. She falls in love with the farmer. And then she gets taken back to the moon at some point. Or maybe I'm definitely... I know I'm thinking of some, like, mythology. like some Chinese, Japanese mythology. Like, there's a story about, like, a man and woman who fall in love, and she's from, like, the moon or something, and she eventually is forced to leave the husband and go back to the moon. And for a moment, I was like, are they doing allusions to that? Because I think that would be an interesting twist. They are in some aspects, but in other aspects they aren't. Like, no, it is, the mother is dead. And, yeah, I'll give them credit for that. So yeah, the father's motivations, like, they're not just like, oh, he's not just like a villain seeking ultimate power. I mean, that's how he starts the movie, but once he meets the wife, no, it's more complicated than that. And I actually like that. I think the father is interesting. The whole him fighting with the 10 rings, the way they use the 10 rings in this, I don't know how they work in the comics. In the comics, aren't they just like actual rings that like are worn on your finger? Like, aren't they like alien, like magic or whatever? In this, he's got like they're still like alien, but they're like gauntlet style things, and he can like shoot them out as projectiles. He uses them as stepping stones at one point, where he like shoots them, and then he like runs and steps on them and jumps. And that's really, like, there's a lot of interesting combat uses. He shoots them down at the ground to like give himself like a vertical boost. The 10 rings just have some really cool combat. They're used really effectively in this movie. And I'll give the movie fucking credit for it. Like, the combat's really good. It's really interesting. I like it. So that's, like, even, like, with problems, I think that's all around pretty good. If I had a problem with the movie, I'd say some of it's near the ending. So again, I'm gonna once again point out the spoiler warning. At the end of the movie, like, the father invades the village because he's convinced his wife is like trapped behind this gate. So he invades the village, and we get this fight. And for that stuff is like cool. That stuff is cool with like the men, because there's Razor Fist and he's fighting, and Katie learns to like use a bow and arrow for a little bit. It gets a moment. It gets its little payoff. And then like Shang-Chi fights his father, and that's also pretty good stuff. But then it becomes giant CGI monster battle. And I don't think the CGI monsters look that good. I'm not saying this is like Steppenwolf from Joss Whedon's Justice League, or even technically Zack Snyder's. Right? Like, this isn't that. Like, what they're going for is more like, right, like, because it's a dragon versus this, like, soul-eating monster. And I'm just, like, it just becomes giant CGI monster fight. And, like, I think the Soul Eater, it's got the design is familiar, but I can't place it. And then, like, I want the dragon to be, like, more colorful than it actually, like, is. Like, there's a problem with every MCU movie. They're like, very muted colors. They're very gray movies. This is no exception. There are there's, like, a few moments. And, right, this is probably the least MCU we've seen in a while. But there are elements that are there. And, like, the dragon, I want the dragon to be colorful. Like, even, like, I'm just saying, like, bright. Like, I don't need it to be, like, rainbow. But, like, just, like, a bright white. Instead, it's, like, a dull, like, grayish white. And that's just not... I just don't think that looks as good. I'll be honest. I just don't think that looks as good. Like, the grayish white just... Nah. And that the soul-sucking monster's entirely gray, except for it's got a little bit of purple in it, and that is something that I like. Like, the color palette, like the main villain, the father, is like blue, and like all of his soldiers use blue. Shang-Chi and all of them use like reds and yellows, which is, usually it's flipped. Usually all the villains use like reds and yellows, and all the good guys use blue. The main, like the soul-eating monster, whose name I don't remember, is like purple. That's different. Even though purple is usually also a villain color. But so yeah, the ending just being like the CGI monster fight, at least that part of it. I mean, there's like one or two good moments, but I'm way less invested in that. I'm way more invested in Shang-Chi and his father. Like they have a battle where like he has 5 of the rings and the father has 5 of the rings. Way more interesting. And then it ends with, so they're like they start like early on in the movie, they're like talking to their friends, and then it ends with them like going back to their friends and talking about like everything that happened in the movie. Pretty funny. And then Wong shows up. Wong is one of the best fucking characters in the MCU. And you know, he's all like, someone was like, after the most recent What If episode, even before that, even with Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, Wong knows what's up. Like he's fighting Abomination, and it's like, is he breaking Abomination out of jail to do these fights? But it's like, even still, Wong knows what's up, and nobody fucking listens to Wong, because in this, right, he like, in Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, he tells Doctor Strange, don't do it, and he does it anyways. And What If, the most recent one where Doctor Strange becomes the villain, he tells Doctor Strange, hey, don't time travel. What does Doctor Strange do? Time travel. Wong is always right. He knows what he's talking about. And yeah, he's so fucking good. And seeing him fight Abomination, it's a neat cameo, but then he shows back up at the end. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to have him back at the end here. So I liked that. And then the thing that confused me. So I'm like, oh, this takes place after Endgame, right? Because they reference the snap, and I'm pretty sure they reference the snap getting undone. So it's like, oh, okay, this has to take place after Endgame. However, in the post-credit scene, they're looking at the 10 rings, right? They look at it, and Banner and Captain Marvel like hologram in to look at it. Because it's Wong, Banner, and Captain Marvel. But it's not Hulk Banner. It's just normal, regular Bruce Banner. He's not like big CGI Hulk. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't match up with the timeline. What? That makes no sense. Now, if the movie took place between Avengers and Endgame, I'd be like, oh, okay, right, between Infinity War and Endgame, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And I think that would be an interesting dynamic for this movie, but from what I can tell, it doesn't. So I have no, like, so what's, like, Abomination's out of prison, and now there's no more Smart Hulk? He's just Bruce Banner again? What? Okay. And they do tease, like, another Shang-Chi, that he's, like, the 10 rings, like, send out, like, a signal, so there's something with them that they're, you know, I think they're originally, like, alien technology or magic or something. So they're probably going somewhere with that. And yeah, you know, Shang-Chi coming back, I've been calling him Shang-Chi for so long that, like, it's fucking stupid. It's the stuff fucking Sung-Won thing. Sung-Won, not hard at all, and admittedly I don't fuck up Sung-Won. At least I don't think I do. I hope I don't. But I just keep fucking up Shang-Chi. Fuck. But if, you know, when he comes back, I'm totally fucking down. Right? All the fight scenes in this were cool, and I'd love to see more of it. The 10 rings is back, because at the end, the sister takes it over, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's fucking go with this. Because now, I mean, she takes over the 10 rings, Sharon Carter is the power broker. They're building towards something eventually. And I'm fucking down. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Top 10 MCU. I don't know if I'd put it at top 5. I really don't. I think, like, when I say top 10, I'd say, like, number 10. But that's just for me personally. I could easily see how somebody can put it higher. But, again. And then, yeah, that's it. That's Shang-Chi. And will I make a main video, like one video on the main channel? I don't fucking know. Will I just cut this out and put it up on the main channel? Maybe. Because I need to get all those What If videos done. I want to, and one day I will. One day I fucking will. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think so. I have an MCU rank list. Like I have a list. So when I did my MCU big rewatch before Infinity War, like we ranked. I and a group of other people using the kind of funny MCU and review method ranked all the movies. And when we ranked this one, I think it's at number 7 right now, above the Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. I think it's at like number 7. And that's just democracy in action, like, because I probably wouldn't have put it higher than 10. Somebody else wouldn't put it higher than 10, and then and then like some people would put it above 6, but like once you get outvoted, right? Like eventually you stop being the majority, and that's where we call it. Once like there's 5 of us, so once like 2 votes, that's it. Wherever it is up to that point, and I think it was at 7. Well, and will I watch it again? Probably, actually. I don't know if I have 3 days off, so I might go to the movies. What I really want to do is go fucking bowling. I guess that takes us into the outro. Sure. God, did we really go for... God, we went for an hour for Harley Quinn. But yeah, I want to go bowling. I have not been bowling, and I know the Delta variant is getting worse than ever, and it's only going to keep getting worse. And when everything started letting up, and numbers were actually pretty good, I probably just should have gone bowling then. Like, that's when I should have sat down and gone bowling, and that would have been smart, but I fucking didn't, and now the COVID numbers keep getting worse and worse, but I really want to go fucking bowling. And I don't want to do Wii Sports bowling, which is what I'd been doing prior. No, I want to go actual bowling. I used to bowl every week. I don't anymore, obviously. But yeah, I used to bowl every week. And then, technically it wasn't COVID that stopped me. But like, I don't know, I think I got busy or something, and for a while I stopped. And then COVID hit, and I just didn't. But I miss it. I miss it. And part of it is that I usually only bowl in the summer. I think that's another aspect, is that I usually only do it during the summer. So, right, I took the fall and the winter off, and then COVID hit in March, so I never got back to it. Yeah, God, I want to go bowling. Fuck, I might. We're not. Oh, okay. We might have a chance, but probably not. Nine. Okay, I need 3 more. Okay, I think we're fine. I need to find a better place to get one, but... There we go. Maybe? Okay. There we go. But yeah, so I want to go bowling. And then also, now that I've watched the Harley Quinn show, I want to watch Birds of Prey again. Because it's so fucking... Oh, how'd they get so... whatever. Birds of Prey is so fun. It's such an underrated movie. Because I think that was February of last year. And it was so fucking good. It does not get nearly enough credit for how good it is. And I want to rewatch it. I really do. And so I might do that this weekend as well, because I'm going to enjoy my 3 days off. That's what I'm going to say. And then I'm fucking busy again. I have a lot of reading to do as well this weekend. Anything else? No, I don't have anything else planned. In theory, I'd be down to stream something, but I don't plan on at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, I don't really have any, like, yeah, should I do Spider-Man? I don't know. It'd be neat, but I don't think I will. Why did... What? Oh, this is so fun. Look how close I am to it, and it refuses to grab it. And then I just get immediately swamped. Okay, we've got it right here. We're in theory good. You and me, bro. Let's just take it. There we go. What was I talking about? Birds of Prey. I'm going to start Young Justice at some point. There was another show I wanted to watch as well, but I don't remember what it was. God, I feel like I'm forgetting something. No Switch, no... I don't fucking know. I've got nothing. There was something, but... I don't know. I need the bathroom. I've been... We talked about fucking Harley Quinn for an hour. I mean, I kind of expected it, but yeah. I mean, that's what we titled the stream after all, like, come on. I mean, I'm not surprised. Nope. Okay, I don't think we have this, but by gum, am I gonna try? Nope. You really need to stay ahead of the pack. And, like... And, of course, I was gonna... Even if I had gotten there first, I was gonna fuck up on the crown. I cannot get that crown. Hey, that gets us... I think it's, what, 3 things left? 47, 48... No, it's 4. 47, 48, 49, and 50. Yeah. We're definitely hitting the end of this. You know, it's got to be these challenges. Like, because it was such a pain in the ass to get to rank 40 in the first season. And it was such a pain in the ass to get to rank 40 in season 3, and they added 10 more ranks in season 4, and I look how easy I'm able to do it. Look, right, like I'm almost there, and I'll probably do it again. And like I did it for season 4 very early on in season 4, and I'm gonna do it again for season 5, and it's got to be because of those challenges. Like that's the only thing, because like that's basically a guaranteed level a day. Admittedly, I mean, because we didn't win a single game tonight, so, like, it's not like I'm winning more. So let's see. We need another... I'm surprised it doesn't just tell you how many points you have. But I think we need to complete one of these challenges. That gets us the next one. And then one last challenge gets us the last one. So in theory, we don't need to win a single squad show. But we need to earn gold medals in race rounds. And really, the easiest way to do that is with squad team. Getting a squad that, like, where the squad wins the gold, that's usually the easiest way to do that. Because it's hard to come in first on your own. I mean, I've done it, but I've done it so sparsely. And it's definitely easier than winning 3 fucking squads. God, that's too many wins. Like, it should be a squad show. Maybe 2 at the most. Because the rest of this is all easily possible. I don't know. Not like I give a shit about... I am curious what that dance is going to be, but I trust me, I don't really give that much of a shit. But yeah, that's another in chat. Next week, there was no news this week. Next week we've got the PlayStation Showcase. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have some stuff to talk about. Plus, I don't know. I might have a video game. Probably won't, but I might. It's definitely not gonna be Skyward Sword. That's for sure. Maybe we'll have a Nintendo Direct sometime and soon. That'd be cool. I personally don't really have much faith in the Nintendo Direct rumor. I could see it, like, if they announced this Gameboy thing, if they announced the final Smash character, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, what else? Like, we just got a Metroid Dread trailer, Wario comes out. I mean, yes, we can get more Metroid Dread, we can get more Advanced Wars. Does Nintendo even have a game coming out in November? I mean, the Pokemon Company does, but again, I kind of treat those like different entities at this point. I mean, maybe we finally get some Splatoon 3. I legitimately don't think we need a Nintendo Direct right now. It might happen, but if it doesn't, I would not be surprised. I just don't think there's enough big stuff. Let's see, I'm checking my calendar right now. God, my calendar's a fucking mess. Let's see, we've got WarioWare that comes out a week from tomorrow, or a week from yesterday. Metroid Dread is on the 8th. Mario Party, okay, maybe they could show off some Mario Party. That's on the 29th. Pokemon is on the 19th. And Advanced Wars is on the 3rd. And then I know the other Pokemon is what? The 1st or the 28th of January. It doesn't matter. I don't know, maybe they could start showing off their January, February lineup. But they could also totally wait until late October, early November. So, and I would not be surprised if we don't get... I would not be surprised if we don't get a Nintendo Direct until January. Because I don't... I would love for Splatoon 3 to come out in, March. I don't think it's coming out in March, though. Nintendo, out of every company, video game company, was hit hardest by COVID. So I don't expect it to see... I mean, maybe in October. But I kind of think it's too early. And I think Game Boy would come during that, so I don't know. But we got a PlayStation Showcase next week, and you know me, I'm totally on board with PlayStation nowadays, so yeah. But yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.